She freezes the moment she sees him. Not me, him. The frail old man slumped in the wheelchair between us. And in that instant I realize my wife has a secret. It starts with a knock on my door at dawn, the kind that doesn't wait. That urgent, hollow rhythm of someone on the edge of panic. When I open it, Mr. D'Souza, my 78-year-old neighbor, is standing there, shaking, one hand clutching his chest. His lips are pale, his breath a wheeze. "Hospital," he croaks. "Please, I don't think." I grab my keys, my jacket, and half carry him to the car. The early morning fog wraps the neighborhood in that heavy silence that feels like it's listening. My hands tremble as I start the engine. I tell myself it's adrenaline, not fear. Not yet. The drive feels endless, the tires slicing through puddles from last night's rain. The city hasn't woken up yet, and every red light feels cruel. When we finally pull into the hospital bay, I yell for help, and 2 nurses rush out with a wheelchair. They wheel him inside while I park. My wife works here. That thought flickers through my mind like a comfort. Lena, my calm in every storm. I've seen her handle chaos with a grace that borders on holy. Today I need that grace. When I step into the ER, she's already there. Hair pinned up, blue scrubs fitting her like they were made for her body, not the job. She's focused, poised, radiant, until her eyes land on him. Her breath catches. I see it. Her hand, mid-motion, stiffens around the clipboard. "Lena?" I say, confused. She doesn't answer right away. The air between us tightens, humming with something invisible but alive. Her eyes dart between me and the man in the wheelchair. Then she says, too softly, "Where did you find him?" "At home," I say. "He knocked on our door. Said he needed a hospital." Her face drains of color. For a moment I think she might faint. Then, with effort, she straightens her shoulders and moves closer to him. She checks his pulse, her fingers trembling. "Get Dr. Shah," she tells a nurse. Her voice has a strange edge, brittle, almost panicked. I stand there, watching her work, but it's different today. Usually she's all confidence and control. But now, she's unsteady, haunted. The man wheezes her name, not nurse, not miss, but Lena. Familiar, personal, and she flinches. "Lena," I repeat, louder now. "What's going on?" She looks up at me then, eyes glistening, throat tight. And something in that look cuts deep. It's the look of someone whose past has just walked in and refused to stay buried. "Can you wait outside?" she whispers. "Please," it's the please that gets me. The quiet plea of a woman holding a dam inside her chest. I nod, even though my stomach twists. I step into the corridor, the white walls blurring as I try to breathe. From inside the room I hear low voices, hers and his, frantic, urgent. Then silence. Minutes stretch. I pace the corridor, trying to reason it out. Maybe she knows him from before. Maybe he was a patient. Maybe it's nothing. But the way she froze, that wasn't professional concern. That was recognition, fear, guilt. When she finally steps out, she looks like someone who's seen a ghost. Her lips are pale, her eyes wet, but her posture is rigid, like she's forcing herself not to crumble. "Is he okay?" I ask. She nods, but it's mechanical. "Stable for now. The doctor's with him." "Do you know him?" I ask slowly. Her eyes flick toward the floor. She stops herself, swallowing hard. "I did. A long time ago." The air thickens between us. My pulse hammers. "How long ago?" "Before you," she says quietly. Her voice is thin, fragile. "Before everything." I stare at her, waiting for her to fill in the blanks. But she doesn't. She just stands there, trembling slightly, hands clasped in front of her like she's praying. Something shifts inside me. Not anger, not yet. More like a slow, creeping dread, the kind that makes your skin cold before your mind catches up. She finally meets my eyes. "Please don't ask me anything right now. I'll explain later. I promise." I should press her, demand answers. But something about her face and that quiet panic, that flicker of shame, makes me step back. I nod, even though my chest feels tight. She exhales, shaky. "Thank you." When she turns away, I watch her shoulders, the way they sag once she thinks I can't see. The way her hand brushes her forehead, as if she's trying to wipe away more than sweat. I glance through the glass window of the room. The old man is lying still, eyes half open, lips murmuring something I can't hear. But as Lena leans over him, he grips her wrist. And even from here, I can see his mouth form a single word. "Secret." The hallway hums with the faint buzz of fluorescent lights. Somewhere down the corridor, a monitor beeps steadily, an indifferent rhythmic, alive. And in the middle of it all, I stand frozen. A husband realizing that maybe he's never truly known the woman he married. That's when she looks up again. Through the glass, right at me. And this time, her eyes don't hide a thing. Fear, regret, and something else. Recognition. Like she's looking at someone who just became part of a secret she spent years trying to bury. I can't sleep. The apartment is quiet, but my mind is loud. Every creak of the floorboards, every sigh of the heating system feels amplified, like the world is holding its breath with me. Lena hasn't left the living room since she came home. She sits on the couch, knees tucked to her chest, eyes fixed on the rain-streaked window, lost in thought. I move closer, careful not to startle her. The air between us is electric, thick with unsaid words. She hasn't looked at me in minutes, but I can feel her tension, the way her shoulders are hunched, how her fingers twist the hem of her sleeve like she's trying to ground herself. "Lena," I whisper, sitting beside her. My hand hovers just above hers, unsure if I dare touch. Her gaze finally flicks to me, sharp, questioning, vulnerable. "You shouldn't be here," she murmurs. "I want to be," I say. Simple words, but they carry everything I can't articulate. I reach out slowly, letting my fingers brush the back of her hand. She freezes, then doesn't pull away. My thumb traces circles on her knuckles, a silent reassurance, a tentative promise. Her lips part slightly like she's about to speak, but no sound comes. Instead, she leans her head against my shoulder. The motion is so delicate, so fleeting, I almost think I imagined it. But the warmth of her hair brushing my cheek proves otherwise. "I shouldn't feel this," she whispers, almost to herself. "Not with you, not like this." I shake my head gently. "You don't have to apologize for anything," I murmur. "Not to me." Her hand twitches under mine, searching, needing something she's too afraid to name. I inch closer, the heat of her body against mine stirring something primal, protective, aching. I want to reach for her face, to tilt it up, to close the distance that's been hanging between us all evening, but I stop. I wait. She sighs, and it's almost a confession in itself. "I kept it a secret for so long," she says, voice trembling. "I thought I had buried the past. That helping him, that all of it, was behind me. But it's not," I say softly. "And it's okay. You don't have to carry it alone anymore." Her eyes glisten in the lamplight, reflecting something fragile and raw. She swallows, hesitant, and then she moves her hand over mine, letting her fingers intertwine. The gesture is electric, a bridge over the gap we've both been avoiding. My heart hammers. Her pulse thrums against my palm. I've never wanted to protect someone and be this close to someone at the same time. "Do you trust me?" I ask, barely above a whisper. She looks up at me, lips parted, a question in her eyes that words could never capture. I don't know if I should," she admits. "Then start small," I say. "Start with this moment." I lean in slowly, careful, testing the air between us. The scent of her hair, faint citrus soap, something uniquely hers, fills my senses. Her eyelashes brush against her cheeks, her breath catches. I can feel the tension in every inch of her body. She doesn't pull away, and that's all the invitation I need. I tilt my head gently, brushing my lips against hers. The kiss is soft, exploratory, hesitant, like we're both learning something we should have known a long time ago. It's not desperate. It's not reckless. It's a confession of everything words cannot hold. Her hands move up to my chest, fingertips tracing the lines of my shirt, grounding herself to me. My arms wrap around her, careful, protective, as if I could shield her from the weight of the past just by holding her. Minutes stretch. Time bends around us. The rain outside drums steadily against the window, a soft, persistent percussion to the rhythm of our hearts. Her lips part slightly against mine, and I can feel the tremor of her breath, the tremor of fear, of longing, of something buried deep finally surfacing. "I wanted to tell you," she murmurs against my mouth. "Everything, but I was scared. Scared you'd—" Her words falter. Scared I'd leave, I think. But I don't finish it for her. I just hold her tighter. "You don't have to be scared," I whisper back. "I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." She leans in again, more urgent this time, her hands tangling in my hair, pulling me closer. The kiss deepens, slow, languid, almost painful in its intensity. It's a release of tension, of fear, of longing, a dance of two hearts finding a rhythm after years of silence. Then the sound of a phone buzzing on the table shatters the moment. We break apart instantly, hearts still racing, breaths mingling in the dim light. Her hand stays in mine, fingers curled together, but her eyes are wide, wary, caught between the comfort of the moment and the intrusion of the outside world. I glance at the screen. It's the hospital again. My pulse spikes. She swallows hard. "It's him," she whispers. He's at the hospital." And just like that, the fragile bubble we created shatters. The moment of closeness, of confession, hangs suspended, incomplete, tantalizing, charged with everything we cannot yet say. I hold her hand tighter. She leans into me, and I know in this heartbeat that nothing will ever feel the same again. The past has returned. The secret is no longer buried. And between us, something undeniable has ignited. A spark, a promise, and the beginning of a truth we both must face. The rain keeps falling, steady, unrelenting. Outside, the city sleeps. Inside, our hearts wake. I don't go home. Instead, I linger in the hospital cafeteria, a cold, sterile place that smells faintly of burnt coffee and disinfectant. I tell myself I'm just waiting to drive Mr. D'Souza back if he's discharged. But the truth? I can't leave her here with him. Not when her voice still trembles from whatever history they share. I watch her from afar, through the glass partition separating the ER from the rest of the floor. She moves like someone half inside a dream. Efficient, practiced, but distant. Every time she walks past his room, her steps falter. She glances in, then forces herself to keep going. Whatever's between them, it isn't small. It's haunting her. When she finally spots me sitting there, she hesitates. Then after a pause, she walks over, slow and cautious, as if crossing a minefield. "You're still here," she says quietly. "Couldn't sleep," I reply. "Didn't feel right leaving." She nods, eyes darting away. "He's stable. They're keeping him overnight." I let the words hang. The hum of vending machines fills the silence. Her hands are clasped together. That nervous tick she has when she's trying to hold something in. I notice a faint smudge under her eye. She's tired. But there's more than exhaustion there. "It's the weight of something old and unhealed, Lena," I murmur. "Who is he?" Her gaze snaps up. For a moment, she almost answers. Her lips part, her throat works. But then she glances toward the hallway. A nurse passes by. The moment collapses. "Not here," she says softly. "Not now." Her tone isn't defensive. It's pleading. Vulnerable. So I nod, though curiosity burns in my chest like a live wire. We drive home in silence. The streets are quiet, still glistening from the rain. Streetlights smear gold reflections across the windshield. She grips the steering wheel too tightly, knuckles pale. I want to reach out, to touch her thigh, her hand, her anything. But something in her posture warns me off. At a red light, she exhales shakily. "I didn't expect to ever see him again," she says, eyes fixed on the empty intersection. "He was supposed to be gone." "Gone?" I ask. "You mean—" She shakes her head. "Please, not here." The light turns green and the moment disappears into the sound of the engine. When we finally reach home, she doesn't go to bed. She sits on the couch, shoulders slumped, staring at nothing. I stand behind her, unsure whether to touch her or give her space. The faint lamplight softens her face, the curve of her cheek, the tired shimmer in her eyes. She looks breakable. "Talk to me," I whisper. She looks up at me then, and something in her gaze draws me closer. I sink to the floor beside her, my hand brushing hers. She doesn't pull away. "I met him years ago," she says quietly. "Before you. Before nursing school. I was different back then." "How different?" My voice is barely audible. Her lips curve into a sad smile. You wouldn't have liked me. That's not true. She studies me for a long moment, then sighs. He wasn't always old. He was in trouble. Deep trouble. I worked at a small clinic then. He came in one night, bleeding, desperate, terrified. Loan sharks, he said. They wanted him dead. I should have called the police. But I didn't. I helped him. I stare at her. You helped him? She nods. Fake his death, disappear. The words hit like a shockwave. My breath catches. You, what? I know how it sounds. Her eyes glisten. He promised he'd leave everything behind. Start fresh. I believed him. But then he vanished. And now, she swallows hard. Now he's here. Alive. Silence stretches between us, fragile as glass. My mind races. My wife, the woman who saves lives every day, once helped someone fake his death. And not just anyone. The man who knocked on our door this morning. Why? I whisper. Why risk everything for him? She looks away. Because he saved me first, I freeze. Saved you? Her eyes close. I was young, lost, caught in something ugly. He got me out. I owed him my life. So when he came to me, I couldn't say no. Her voice cracks on the last word. I reach for her hand, and this time she doesn't stop me. Our fingers intertwine, and I feel her pulse. Fast, fragile, human. She leans against my shoulder, trembling. For a moment, neither of us speaks. The rain starts again, tapping against the window in a slow, soothing rhythm. Her hair smells faintly of citrus and antiseptic. I close my eyes, listening to the beat of her heart against my chest. What happens now? I ask softly. She shakes her head. I don't know. But if he's back, it means something went wrong. There's fear in her tone, not for herself, but for what his return could mean. For what might follow. I hold her closer, feeling the warmth of her body, the cold of her secrets. The distance between us feels like a thin sheet of glass, transparent but unbreakable. Then, just as I'm about to speak, her phone buzzes on the table. We both look at it. The hospital's number flashes across the screen. She answers, voice trembling.
Hello? A pause.
Then I hear the faint voice on the other end, urgent, breathless. Lena's eyes widen. What do you mean he's gone? She stands abruptly. No, I was just there an hour ago. How could her words cut off? She listens, face pale as paper. Then slowly she lowers the phone. He left, she whispers. He checked himself out. No one saw him leave. My stomach drops. You think he's in trouble again? Her eyes meet mine. No, she says. I think he's trying to finish what we started. The rain outside thickens into a downpour, rattling against the glass. And just like that, the quiet between us turns into something else entirely. Not peace, not love, but the electric silence that comes before everything unravels. The night stretches long and tense. The rain has slowed to a drizzle, but the storm inside the apartment hasn't eased. Lena sits on the couch, curled into herself, eyes dark pools of thought, and I sit across from her, the air thick between us. Every time I try to speak, the words choke in my throat. Every glance, every small movement from her makes my chest tighten. Finally, I rise and move closer, letting the silence between us carry the weight of what hasn't been said. My hand hovers just above hers. I don't touch yet, not until she signals it's okay. Lena, I whisper, voice low, steady. Tell me everything. No excuses. No half-truths. I need to understand. Her gaze lifts, meeting mine, and I see the battle waging inside her. Shame, fear, longing, guilt, all laid bare in a single glance. Her lips tremble and she takes a shallow breath. I can't believe he's back. After all these years. I thought I'd left it behind. I thought I'd buried it. Buried what? I ask softly. The truth? The part of you that's been waiting for closure? Her head falls into her hands. It wasn't just about saving him. He meant something to me. Something I didn't understand until it was gone. And I thought I'd never feel that again. Not like that. Her words cut deeper than I expected. I kneel beside her, heart hammering, and gently lift her face to mine. You don't have to hide it. Not from me. Not now. Tears spill from her eyes unbidden, and I brush them away, my thumb tracing her cheek. The intimacy of the gesture, the raw vulnerability between us is overwhelming. She leans into my touch, letting herself be held, letting herself be seen. I was afraid, she admits, voice shaking. Afraid you'd judge me, leave me, not be able to forgive me for what I did. for everything I kept hidden. I'm not going anywhere, I say, pressing my forehead to hers. You're here with me. That's enough. Her lips part, and I see the almost confession she's holding back, the words dangling on the edge. I close the gap between us, capturing her mouth in a kiss that's no longer tentative. It's urgent, desperate in its intensity, a release of months of tension, of fear, of longing. Our bodies pressed together, the warmth of her against me igniting something raw and alive. Her hands roam over my shoulders, down my back, anchoring herself to me as if the world outside doesn't exist. I respond in kind, my fingers tracing the curve of her spine, the softness of her waist. Every breath she takes, every shiver sends electricity through me, and then she pulls back slightly, gasping, eyes wide. Stop, she whispers, but her hands remain in mine.
Not here. We
can't. I nod, heart still racing, understanding the danger she feels. Not just for us, but for the shadows of her past that have suddenly returned. Okay, I murmur. We don't have to. Not yet. We sit together in the quiet, the storm outside echoing the turmoil within. I can feel her trembling, and I pull her close, holding her like she's fragile glass, like the weight of her secret is pressing down on her. She leans into me, her head on my chest, and I let my fingers thread through her hair. Minutes pass, hours maybe. Time loses meaning, and then in a whisper she confesses the truth she's carried for so long. He wasn't just a man I helped disappear. He was my first love, before everything else. Before you. I thought I'd lost him forever, and when he returned today I realized I never really did. My chest tightens. The revelation lands like a storm breaking, and yet I don't pull away. I don't recoil. I let her words sink into me, into us, because love isn't simple, isn't clean. It's messy. It's vulnerable. And it's real. I love you, I whisper, and I'm here, even with him back. Even with the past trying to claw its way in. You don't have to choose between hiding and loving. You can have both, if we face it together. Her lips press against my chest, tears soaking my shirt, and I feel the raw, unfiltered vulnerability that only comes when someone trusts you completely. I've wanted to tell you that for so long, she murmurs. I didn't know if I could, but now I can't hide it anymore. We sit like that, suspended between fear and trust, between longing and confession. Every heartbeat, every breath, every tremor of her body against mine is a promise, a surrender to the storm raging both outside and inside us. Then, without warning, her phone buzzes. The hospital again. She hesitates, eyes wide, a flicker of panic crossing her face. I glance at the screen and see the call is from the ER. She swallows, trembling. It's him, she says softly. He's trying to contact me. He knows I'm here. I take her hand firmly, locking eyes with her. Then we face it. Together. Whatever comes next, we face it together. Her lips tremble, a fragile smile breaking through the tension. Together, she whispers. Outside, the rain stops. The storm has passed, for now. But inside, our hearts are alight, ablaze with confession, trust, and the undeniable pull of love tested by secrets long buried. And in that moment, I realize that nothing will ever be the same. Not the past. Not her, not us. We've crossed a line and there's no going back. The only way forward is together. The next morning breaks with a fragile light filtering through rain-streaked windows. The apartment feels suspended in that quiet, liminal space between night and day, between fear and relief. Lena sits on the edge of the couch, wrapped in a blanket, eyes distant yet alert. I pour 2 cups of coffee, the aroma warm and grounding, and hand her one. She takes it with trembling fingers. Did he call again? I ask softly. She shakes her head. No, I think he's realized he can't. He knows I'm with you. Her voice is hushed, almost reverent, like she's afraid speaking too loudly will break the fragile balance we've fought so hard to find. I sit beside her, our knees brushing. My hand finds hers instinctively. The simple touch feels like an anchor, a tether back to reality after a stormy night of secrets, confessions, and unspoken desires. Are you okay? I ask. She leans into me, resting her head on my shoulder. I've never been more scared, she admits, but also more certain about one thing. You, us. I can't pretend anymore. I don't want to. Her words set off a rush in my chest. Relief, awe, desire, all mingling. I brush a strand of hair from her face, letting my fingers linger along her jawline. I feel the same, I whisper. And I promise, no secrets between us. Not anymore. We sit like that, letting the world outside fade. The rain has stopped, but the air still carries its scent. Wet asphalt, fresh beginnings. For the first time in hours, maybe years, the weight of the past feels like it's lifting, just enough for us to breathe again. Hours later, we drive to the hospital together. The streets glisten under the soft morning sun, reflections rippling like fragile memories. Lena keeps her hand in mine the entire way, a silent pact that we are united no matter what comes next. When we arrive at the ER, the receptionist raises an eyebrow at our entry. "Good morning, Ms. Lena. Everything okay?" She nods, lips tight. "Yes, I just wanted to check in." We pass by the room where Mr. D'Souza was admitted. The door is closed. No sign of the old man. Lena exhales, a mixture of relief and lingering tension. "He left," she whispers, almost to herself. No note, no explanation, just gone. I squeeze her hand. Then maybe that's what he wanted. Clean break. A second chance for both of you to live your lives. She nods, resting her head on my shoulder as we walk down the hallway. I think I can finally let go," she murmurs. "And not just of him. Of everything I've been carrying alone." Outside, the world is washed clean. The sunlight sparkles on puddles, leaves glint in gold and green, and the city hums gently. A quiet, reassuring heartbeat. I pull Lena close, feeling the curve of her body against mine, the warmth, the rhythm of her heart. "You know," I murmur. "After last night, after everything, I've realized something." She tilts her head, curiosity in her eyes. "What?" "That love isn't just about trust or honesty," I say, brushing a kiss along her temple. "It's about facing storms together. Secrets, mistakes, fear. Whatever comes at us, we endure. Together. And that's exactly what I want with you. Always." A tear slips down her cheek, and I catch it with my thumb. "Always," she whispers back. Her lips brush mine briefly, soft, lingering, sealing a promise that words alone could never hold. We walk home hand in hand, the city alive around us, but our focus narrowed to the space we create between us. A fragile, resilient bubble of trust and passion. Every laugh, every glance, every heartbeat becomes a thread weaving our lives closer together. That night, as we sit on the balcony, the stars peeking through lingering clouds, Lena rests her head on my shoulder. "I was so afraid," she admits, voice barely above the wind. Afraid the past would ruin everything, but now, I see it's not just about letting go. It's about moving forward, with someone who sees you, who chooses you every day. "I choose you," I say firmly. "Yesterday, today, tomorrow. No matter what comes." Her hand tightens around mine, and for the first time the past feels distant. The fear, the secrets, the old man who once needed her. They are all shadows that helped shape this moment, but they no longer hold power over us. We lean into each other, the world quiet and distant, leaving only the pulse of two hearts in harmony. The night stretches ahead, full of unspoken promises, tender touches, and the exhilarating certainty that whatever comes, we will face it together. And in that embrace, I understand something profound. Some storms must pass, not to destroy, but to illuminate. They strip away illusions, leave raw truths exposed, and reveal what really matters: the people who stay, the love that endures, and the courage to face the past and future side by side. As the city sleeps below, Lena and I remain wrapped in each other, hearts synchronized, breath mingling, knowing that whatever secrets life might throw our way next, we've survived the storm and emerged unbroken together. The past is behind us, the future is ours, and love in all its messy, beautiful human form is finally ours to claim.